At the end of this video, you will become a bedfight master after learning all the tips and tricks that I'm going to be teaching in this video. I will be teaching you things like countering annoying players, how to not take knockback, starting combos, and block placements. Make sure you stick to the end because I talk about strategies and techniques that no one has ever told you before. And no, it's not gonna be your cliche jump reset and click 20 CPS. We already know about that. These are things and mechanics that I have discovered myself and that I use on a daily basis. And just for clarification, I am on the bedfight leaderboard right now for win streaks. I'm 3rd place right now, as you can see. So whatever I'm going to say, you can be sure that it's all going to be legit. Anyways, let's get into the first tip. My first tip for you guys is to always be aware of your surroundings. This means you shouldn't be slow and always take advantage of everything. Even the simplest things, like when you die and become a spectator, use that to your advantage to see where your opponent is going so you can predict what he's going to do, which will enable you to decide what to do next, so you can always plan ahead of time. This means that your reflexes are going to be way faster because you're always thinking about your next step. Let me give you an example. So let's say the game started, right? And I'm bridging like this. We're going up, right? We're staircase bridging. We reached height limit, okay? So this is height limit. My opponent's bed is right over there. I'm starting to bridge, yeah, okay. My opponent is bridging. Imagine there's someone bridging there. So I'm bridging and my opponent is bridging. And then I misclick and I fall into the void. The moment you die, immediately hold spacebar so you can fly up and see what your opponent is going to do. Because like, let's say he runs on the bridge and then he decides to jump over to your bed. Like imagine your bed is here. So the moment you respawn, you'll be able to know what to do. So he's there, right? You immediately go there. Let's say you died and you didn't look where your opponent was going. The moment you respawn, you'll be rushing to see where your opponent is. So you'll be slower. No matter how bad you are with techniques, if you're always faster than your opponents, you'll always win. Now while we're here, we're gonna go over to the second tip, and that is defending. A lot of times players will teach you about how to not take knockback and all that stuff and like click 20 CPS and how to combo, but they never teach you how to actually like counter these things and defend. Let's say I'm on a top fight. It's height limit, right? So you're fighting your opponent, yeah, okay, and he's comboing you. You need to try to like stall and take the least amount of damage as possible. So the way to do this is to get your sword. So while you're fighting him, just block with your sword, hold S and jump. Like this, you'll take the maximum KB. You will take less damage. So as he's comboing you fly back because you're holding S and you're jumping, which enables you to take more KB. We're doing this on purpose. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but at least that breaks you out of their combo. So you fly off, let's say you land here, and he's gonna rush over to try to kill you, right? You're dead, like you're 1 HP. This is where the suicide comes into place. It's not the actual like suicide, I don't mean that. I'm talking about the suicide technique or strategy in Minecraft. So what it is basically, your opponent is coming, he's about to jump on you and crit you because you're on 1 heart, so you're about to die. So as he's about to jump to the side and hit him off. This is called a suicide when you trade with your opponent. And it also works if you're like one tap and your opponent is coming on the bridge. You can just jump on the side and hit him off and both of you will fall. And then the pressure is going to be equal again. This brings me to our third tip, which is stalling. Stalling is very important, especially in 2v2 bedfight. Here is my way of stalling. And this way of stalling, you can combine it with the suicide technique. For example, I have my shears here, right? My opponent's running on the bridge. You can just like break some blocks, you know, and your opponent is gonna be hesitant because he does not want to jump over it. Because if your opponent decides to jump over these empty blocks while he's in the air, you can just hit him and he will take so much KB. So it's a very dangerous thing to do. So if you're on low HP, this is very helpful. It will put your opponent in a situation where he is going to have to make a decision, either to stay back, like maybe fill the holes and try to kill you, or he's just gonna risk it and jump on you and crit you out. But you might hit him off, so it's a pretty dangerous decision for him. Okay, now let's say he did jump over these. What are you going to do here in this scenario? So as I said, he's in the air, so you can just jump on the side and suicide. It's literally that simple. So that's one way you can use this technique. Another way I use this technique, I actually discovered this myself. So when you want to shear the bridge, there is like a specific pattern you're supposed to do that like actually jukes your opponent. Let's say your opponent is rushing. So while you're here, you need to shear one block here. Don't shear the next block. shear this block. You might ask, how does this juke the opponent? Well, see, look, if I'm the opponent and I'm running and I want to kill you, you break this block, right? And then so he's gonna be here and he's gonna jump over it. But here's the thing, you're going to shear, it's basically a pre-shear. Like, you know how in shooting games or FPS games there's something called a pre-fire? Well, this is like a pre-shear. You shear that and then you pre-shear this one. So he jumps over this, but then you shear this. So he's gonna be hesitant. He either might fall here, and if he doesn't fall there, you can shear the next block. So basically this is how the steps go. Shear, 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 like that. And I'm gonna show you how this works in an actual Bedfight game right now. So I'll show you how the shearing technique works here. So you do this, you do this and this. That was a poor demonstration, but you get the point. And also, while my opponent was bridging, he was actually bridging one block below height limit. And this is also another technique that pros use to like win their games, but it's really frowned upon because it's a technique you should probably only use in ranked games. It's very annoying if you're actually doing this in a non-competitive match. Anyways, while we're here, I'm gonna show you another technique that I use a lot. So that is, I'm gonna call it the hook. So let me just take care of this guy real quick. Okay, so you have your straight bridge like this, and then you bridge like 3 blocks, 4 blocks out, and then you start making this kind of like hook, right? So when your opponent runs on this part of the bridge, you're gonna turn like this and kill him. And there we go. Okay, this is what actually happened. He was running on the bridge and he wanted to kill me, right? But I used all this space to strafe to the left side and knock him off. See how his head turned this way? So I was able to juke him. And that's a technique that I use a lot, and I don't see anyone using this technique. So we're gonna go on to the next step. This over here, the staircase bridge I made on the side of my staircase is called the anchor. And usually you do this when you want to defend or if your opponent is shearing your bridge. Basically, I'm gonna do it on this side. So you anchor like this. You do like a hook kind of thing. And then when he jumps down, you knock him off, see? Because if you were going up to him like this and he jumps on you, you're just gonna fly backwards. So if you're doing it on the side, it's way more effective like this. So once you're up here and you knock him off, you can just use this space to like double jump. Because if Bedfight is all about being quick, so you have to keep the momentum. Now for my next tip, this is very important, and that's strafing and juking. So I'm just gonna go to this side to like pull him here, and then I'm gonna strafe here. See how like that juked him? I got an extra hit on him. Anyways, you guys get the point. So imagine this is where your opponent spawns, right? And you wanna go get their bed. So what I would usually do is come a bit closer and jump to this side. So that's gonna drag them there, but the moment you land, you quickly switch directions. Okay, so and then that will give you a free hit and you can just combo them off the map. Let's say you won a top fight, right? You killed them and you knocked them off and you're a bit low. So you can use this technique to recover, I guess. You jump here, they respawn, they come there, boom, 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 dead, break the bed, and that's how you win the game. Okay, now for the final tip. This tip is the most important, and actually this tip might need a full in-depth tutorial just by itself, but I'm gonna give you guys an overview, and that is none other than block placements. Now there are already a bunch of good block placement tutorials, but I'm just gonna show you my style of block placements, the most practical ones, not the ones that like, you know, show off and everything, but like the ones that you would actually use in a ranked game maybe or something. So a block placement that I would realistically use in a game and that I would like to show you guys is, I don't have a name for it, but I would call it the fake block and drop down. I know that's a long name, but whatever. So basically you're above your opponents, you know, they're down there trying to get to you, you're stalling, blah blah blah. So imagine your opponent is on the bed, okay? Let's just for now imagine that this blue pillar right here is your opponent. What you do is you drop down with your sword and you knock them unexpectedly. So they'll take KB and they'll fly off and probably land like around here, right? They flew there, and then what I would do is hold S and jump and place blocks like this. You see this? So this will set you up for a bunch of many different things that you can do depending on the situation, because block-ins are very like, it depends on the situations a lot, and like you have to improvise for block placements and block-ins and everything like that. But what I would usually do is he's there, right? And it will take him time to run up and try to kill you. The moment he starts coming up, I place blocks like this. So he gets blocked off, and then he has to come and hit you from here. So I place blocks like this, and hit him down from here. Basically, you created a head hitter for yourself and a little gap here which you can use to hit your opponents and get a free hit. So after you hit them, what I usually do is place blocks like this and then come like this and block in and get their bed. That's something you can do. Another thing you can do, which doesn't include hitting your opponents off the bed defense, is if they are, let's say, here. And to actually get your opponents there, you have to like bridge there. So you drag them here, you pull your opponent there, so they come here, and you quickly run, you drop down, and create this sort of head hitter for you. If you're wondering how I do these like blocks, place these blocks really quickly, I'm short drag clicking, and you should start short drag clicking a lot for bed fights. So you have to aim at like this part of the block, this top part of the block. So when you drop down, it creates a head hitter for you right here. So you drop down, head hitter. You break the first block, and that's an easy block in for you. Really nice and quick. And don't break any of the wool blocks here, always break the one that's on top. So you break the one that's on top, place a block below you and catch them by surprise and combo them off. So these are just some basic block placement tips. Anyways, we're gonna go on to the bonus tip, and that is how do you actually start off. I see lots of players doing the most insane types of like start offs. If you don't know what a start off is, I don't even know if that's the right term, but I'm just gonna call it that because that's what I know. It's like when you're in a bedfight game, you queue into a bedfight game, and it's like you're doing the countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What I see some players doing is going all the way to the edge of the island. Let's say it's here. They place a block, they go on it, and then they start bridging like this, staircase bridging. That's very slow. You shouldn't be doing this. What you should do is you should always place a block under you when you start, and I'll tell you why in a bit. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place a block under you, and then you can double jump like this. See? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And another way that I like to start is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I jump and I place blocks like this. Like that. It's kind of like you're doing an extension clutch, a flat extension clutch, but on the ground. And you can butterfly click for this or long drag click. I usually long drag click because it's easier for me. I mean, this is butterfly click. This is long drag click, okay? So now after you do this, you can just do this. They both work the same way, but it also depends. Let's say there's a map where the spawn is a bit further away. Like let's say it's right around here. So if the spawn is further away, then you should use the other start technique that I showed you, which was the double jump. Like this, and then don't start bridging from here. Do another double jump like that, okay? And then place a third block. So it's kind of like a triple jump thing. And then once you place your third block, that's when you start bridging. I'll tell you why this is important, because it helps you get up the bridge as fast as possible. Because see, if I'm on this block here, when I spawn on this block, I can hop on this, and see how fast that was and how clean and quick that was. Now I'm going to show you the reason why you're supposed to place a block under you when you start. So let's say this is where I'm supposed to spawn, right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I place a block, you know, I start going and bridging. Okay? Blah, blah, blah. I fought my opponent. But uh-oh. I fall in the void. He has pressure. He's going down. I respawn here. Your opponent already went and jumped and started to break your bed. Uh-oh. You have to get there as fast as possible. Since you're standing on this block here, all you have to do is double jump like this and hit them off. I don't see people doing this. It's so easy. And this is really helpful because even if your opponent, let's say, does like some insane block placements like this and he's trying to break your bed, you can just do this and hop right on top of it. It's actually like so easy, and I don't know why people don't do this. Let's say you didn't place a block. What would happen? You're gonna have to do this. That still works, right? But what if your opponent is hurting, right? And he did this. You won't be able to jump over that. This. Like you're gonna have to go. It's very slow. It's extremely slow. Always place a block under you once you start the match, because you can just double jump, hit him off like that. It's literally that simple, and it catches them off guard really badly. This is also really helpful because if you jump like this and then your opponent takes no KB for some reason, like they're fighting you, right? They're trying to break the bed. You hop on, you land here, right? They're fighting you. You have your back against your bed defense, so if they're hitting you, you won't take KB. So they're just gonna take KB and fall off the edge. So this is very important. And the way you can actually combine this is with my previous tip that I mentioned earlier in this video. The one where you use the spectator feature to be able to see where your opponent is going. So let's say you're going up here, you're bridging, but you accidentally fall and die. Then you can come up here, see where your opponent is going. He's gonna come here, right? And then he jumps there. So immediately, once he jumps there, you already know what to do. You jump here, double jump, that's it. It's a routine. It's like that simple, guys. This is how you can recover and make the pressure equal again. Equalizing pressure in Bedfight is very important. You always want to have pressure or equal pressure. You never want to be the one that has no pressure. These are just like techniques that you can use to recover and get your pressure back. And also, while we're here, I just want to give one more equalizer tip for the pressure. Let's say you can't like stack up on the side like this for some reason whatsoever, and you can't like hit your opponent off without taking knockback. So what you do, your opponent is here, he's about to hit you off, immediately place blocks behind you. Now this is a tip that most people know already, so like I'm just giving it to remind people, I'm just showing it so you guys can remember this. Let's say you're coming here, your opponent's about to hit you, place a block behind you, boom boom boom, he's getting hit. Very nice. Yeah, that's how you can get your pressure back. And I also want to give actually 2 more tips. So let's say you have pressure, you're coming down here, your opponent respawned, right? The moment they're going up the bridge, like let's say here, you place a block there. See, they cannot jump over that because it's 2 blocks high. They'll try to do this and hit you, or they might do this. Now, how do you counter a player that's doing this? It's actually very simple and funny. What I do is when they do this, I just do this, okay? I come like this, and it just blocks them off, and I just jump over them and skip them. I try to get their bed, and they're gonna try to come and kill you. So I just do this, very nice, very easy. You know, get the bed. You just have to like keep playing the game, and eventually all of these strategies and techniques and methods, they will just grow on you. That's how it is, guys. So guys, if any of these tips helped you, whether you're new to Bedfight or you are a pro, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to boost the algorithm. Also, I released my new Discord server, so make sure you join. And if you want this pack, the Clack sound pack, make sure you subscribe because I'll be releasing it at 1,000 subscribers, because as of now, it is a private texture pack. If you want a demonstration of how the pack sounds like, check my last video. I do like a showcase for the pack, and there's also like a cool montage at the beginning that you can watch. It's very nice. I worked really hard on it, so yeah, please watch it because I don't want my editing to go in vain. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.